Welcome to Flat Earth. Let's talk about a blog. This is edition number 12 already. But on the page you see number 10 because I counted also with 0 and the first I did count it all. But officially it's number 12 and we will load behind this very nice picture. For everyone who knows that moon landing was fake, it says very clear how they did it. But there are still maybe majority of people defense against themselves if they are not on the other side. Who knows? And they want to believe because the moon landing is very important. It is very important to show we get out of a certain area. You cannot say, oh, we cannot get out more than, let's say, 200 miles. That's not possible. Then it would suggest that we are living under the dome. And that again suggests that there is a creator. Someone has with this. Because this thing under the dome, this is very hard explained without a creator. So that's why it's important to keep up this war line at all costs. I think this is one of the most important things because when people would realize that this is all a hoax, then they will know that all the other things are hoax as well. This is maybe one of the biggest lies at all. There could be something more, but I think this is, you can call it the biggest lie about our living place or living space. Everyone has to wake up, everyone has to learn. In 100 years, people will know again the earth is flat and stationary, like the water is. But until then, we will still have darkness around, so we have to be careful until the light is full bright. There's no more darkness of the night. So we're getting close to where I want to talk today. This was yesterday. Now we go back to the refugees. So refugees, it's a blog from 2016. So refugees is a big issue, of course, and it is still a big issue. So something will for sure happen if you bring in millions and millions every year. So I'm writing down UNHCR. This is, I don't know what it means really, but it's probably about refugee, helping the refugees from the UN, United Nations, UNO. Their statement said in mid 2050 already 60 million uh, refugees registered with them, obviously. Otherwise, I would know. I don't know where they all are, but in many different countries. I know from Thailand that there are about 1 million Pakistani Christian refugees, if you're Muslim as well, and also Nigerians. So the Nigerian issue with Boko Haram is obviously there also, but it was 60 million. Now the number is 70 million, but it doesn't mean that in total this is only 60, 70 million. This is, you, if you keep the term refugee, I put the German term Flüchtling in a special writing because it is only a fake refugee, of course. But if you keep the term refugee, you have people on the run, yeah, officially. So when there were 2 years ago 60 million and now 70 million, it's not just an increase of 10 million. The number is just getting bigger. More people on the move. On the move is the better word, not on the run. Refugee would be actually on the run, but they are on the move. They are moving towards something. And during these 2 years, the 60 million on the move, they might have arrived already. So there are additionally 70 million. It's very hard to say how big is the number really, but could be a couple of 100 millions who are on the move. And I know from Germany that it's filling up with brown people, that means from Afghanistan, Pakistan, looks like Indian people, and with black African people, and also Arab people. And of course, mainly Muslim. So this is something you have to look for, why they import Muslim people. And of course, there's an explanation that Arab Spring and the wars, yeah, now because of the war industry, we have now, the war is against the Muslim countries. And that's why the Muslims are flocking in. This is only the excuse from the system itself. Yeah. So they created this all, and that's why you actually see that they follow an agenda. Yeah. One fits to another. So that means it's a number, I don't know, this is hard to imagine. But there was a quote of someone saying that someone said, some official said that half Africa is waiting to come to Europe. So they want to make a blast. I mean, they want to make something like an explosion, the chaos. Because the European people, especially German people, they are very relaxed with their life. That's why there are so much sleeping sheep. It's hard to get them on the street. They are just, they want to adjust to everything, and even it's getting less and less every year. They still go on, And then you have the older generation, they're not able to do anything, and the younger generation is brainwashed, so they really go into the deep shit now. And that's why I'm happy I'm out of there, because at least I have here some protection, and don't need to witness this, what will happen, or what might will happen. So if we take 10 million, at that time I was thinking it's a fixed 60 million, but it's always, people moving in and people adding up. So if we take only 10 million for Germany alone, this was in 2016, yeah. So other 50 million go to other countries like Britain, France, Italy, northern Italy, of course, Netherlands, Belgium, the Scandinavian countries, Canada, and USA especially. Then it would mean 20 billion, 20 billion per month. Is it right, per month or per year? I have to check this. 20 billion per month. Yeah, 20 billion per month, about, because it's 10 million. The official numbers we like to use is like about a million. Yes, and for about a million, you have about 20 billion euro cost per year. And so this is now for 10, it's about 20 billion per month only, if you have 10. And I think we have 10 million refugees, and I think maybe even 10 million per year coming. And this seemed to be unbelievable, but when the system has prepared it well, I don't know where they put all these people, I'm not there, but I can see in videos also that it's filling up. I don't know where they live, or if they put them even underground. Also stories about this, but I think for underground it's more, or tens of thousands of IS soldiers in that case. So this number, of course, nobody can deal with 20 billion, but this is the national economy of some African states, or the national economy of Thailand. You have to look up in Wikipedia. And so it is quite an amount, especially in a time where it already started since, let's say, 98, that they cut off resources. Like I have witnessed in the city, that the city, I was at the city hall during a meeting, and then the mayor and also the one who's responsible for the finances, they said we don't have the money anymore, so we have to close this and that for the public. Yeah. So this is when I learned the cities have no more money, and they are in debt. This is also the reason why then in 2006, I think nearly every city in Germany was in debt, actually bankrupt, that they have to privatize. And this is exactly the way of the Jewish money system, financial system. With this financial system, they gather everything. And the most important thing that they want to get worldwide, also here in Asia, it's going on, they want to get the land of all the people. You should not have land anymore. In Germany, it's already the case since the Second World War. But now here, these people are actually very rich because of landers. But in Malaysia, because of the hot weather, I think they are too lazy to work on this, so they keep it like it is, cannot use. But they have now the chance to sell the land and buy themselves cars, all the Western goods. so they have a good lifestyle, but this is only for a time, and then the time is over. And you can imagine that these land titles then will be sold again to companies that also take a loan from the same source, and that uh, yeah, they are named like uh, what is this? Monsanto, the GMO production. This is then the food that we will get. So it will affect really everyone. So that's why when we talk about it, we should actually always include ourselves, not just they and them and you. No, it's all of us. We are all affected by this. And that's why for the people who are waking up, it's so hard to be patient with these fucking stupid sheeples, because we could change it right away when these fucking idiots would wake up and would say, no, this we don't want. If this is the case, we will not work for the system anymore. Yeah, we will change the system, or we will abolish the system. That's what I would suggest. Anyway, I want to go back to the numbers. And so you have the 2,000 euro per fake asylum seeker. I'm writing here fake asylum seeker. It's 2,000 euros, which is cost. Yeah, because I know from homeless shelter places that just a bed in a dormitory room is calculated 100 euro per day. I think even 120 euro it was. But let's say about 100. In prison is the same thing. This is the cost, or this is what they receive from government sources. That means from taxpayer. And of course, taxpayer has to pay this. And so it's already 3,000 euro just for the bed. Even in the sports hall where they put the people temporarily, the field beds only, or many refugees, I forgot to say, are uh, in the army camps, close to the weapons. That's very interesting. And so 2,000 is actually nothing. 2,000 euro is an amount you would calculate if you calculate, let's say, 400 euro for, or 500 euro for the living cost, and 500 euro for the living place, and then for insurance, health insurance, and so on. So it's about 2,000 euro that they receive, and every citizen, which is the one who has to pay for everything, this is the German term Bürger, to work for this, that means he has to pay for this, they will receive 250 euro less per year. So now the people don't feel anything. So that means, well, I still have the same money. I don't know, maybe the prices go up, yeah, by 10%. Then you have already the 250 less, because the average income seemed to be 2,000 also per month, average income of the people. So 250 less is inflation of 10%. And so I think they do this with inflation, otherwise they could not cut off the salary of these people, because then the people would more likely react. So it sounds on the first run, when you think, oh, it was only for 1 year, only 2015-16, yeah, we can take it and we will remake it again, like the reunification, or we also made it somehow. And these have been 15 million people who have had to be supported. Now we can take also tens of millions of African people who are of no use. Yeah, that's another thing. Or if you can use them, then maybe cleaning a little bit or doing something. They are not very useful people. So it sounds like okay that we make this, and that's why the people accept this. Especially since the media always tells them this is no problem. We will make it. We will make it. Chancellor saying this, but she's meaning something else with we will make it. We will finish you off. So, but in actual fact, this is a plan according to probably Putin to change the population. It is actually an exchange of population. Uh, the whole thing, which is financed by the old slaves, all the people, the old slaves, and the exchange will happen faster than previously thought, because already in the 90s you could see, oh wait, 300,000 migrants coming every year. So why is that? Oh, because the Germans don't have the children anymore, so we need to keep up the numbers for the economy. Uh, I didn't think so far at that time, but at that time I could have thought already why the economy is well. We can do many things automatically if we have too few people. Just let machines do this, as it was promised 100 years ago. In 2000, we would not need to work anymore, only control the machines. And this would be possible, but we want to keep the people busy with work. That's why the German and also Japanese people, and of course other nations as well, they are working like crazy. Yeah. They keep them busy. That these people have no time to think about what they are doing. Because if you have like I have a lot of time. Oh, this is very dangerous. If many people would think like me, then the system is over already. So, and they now exchange this population. I still believe the most likely case is the crash, and then the German population will be extinct. Or, of course, also many foreigners will die, but most of the foreigners might survive because they are just stronger. They are just stronger and holding together, and even against the strongest Germans, they will just 100 against 10 or something. Yeah, they will fight for the food or whatever. But the system, they know by themselves through the agenda how they deal with this, and when is the time to put in the chip. Yeah, I think when the crash happens, the chaos will be there. So after the chaos, they should actually bring the chip and make peace with the chip. It's like with the peacemaker. We make peace. You hold the peacemaker and say, now you are quiet and you sit down and you don't say anything anymore. I think this will happen. So the Germans might not even receive the chip because they are already. It could be also said to be the rapture, but I think that they are worth of being raptured. But I think the new people will get the chip, the brown and black people, and there will be probably also a lot of German women still available, but they will be then mixed race, uh, whatever. So I actually don't want to think about this further. You can imagine yourself. So anyway, uh, I have a link. I have a link of someone talking about the system. That's what I would like to show you, but the link is not opening somehow. So we will have to go on the website then when it's not opening. But I will do this then towards the end because it would, when I open the Google browser, it would interrupt for sure. So you wouldn't understand so well. We'll talk further. if it's not opening because I don't see the link, the underline popping up, I will do this then from the browser. So again, I'm writing the evidence for that everything is in private hand now. It's privatized, that means being wrapped. Privare in Latin language means being wrapped. That there's nothing from the state anymore, not as we think about the state in the past. That means the state, we are the state, that means the people. And this is also correct, but the people don't know who's really the people. Especially now for Americans, we the people, they write. And then the amendments. But who's writing this? We the people are writing this. That means the people, they mean actually we or us, chosen people. We are the people. That means those who are in power, who have the status. That's the words coming from. These are the real people. They see themselves as people, and the others who say we are the people because we are, we are carrying everything. They are only slaves. But they could be and they should be the people, but only also I have to say when they would wake up. Because when you are like a zombie, crazy, then you cannot be the people at all because you have no control over yourself. So what you need is self-control. Yeah. So that's why you have to also settle down about this issue here. It gives some emotions. I see many emotions like we have to remove people or better kill them all or whatever. This is not a solution in this case. You just have to take away the power from them by not supporting them anymore. Don't put energy into this system. Withdraw your energy. If this is going the wrong way, you put the energy in another way. As much as you can. Yeah, still you can, but there will be a time when you are being forced. And they can do this when they have you under control. That means you are chipped. Yeah. And so this evidence you find on upic.de. There's the link. I will not open it again because I did this twice in previous blogs. And now is no evidence anymore. So I should write something to it that it is not visible anymore. But it was visible. And you find it also on the internet because they make some screenshots about it. Then you can see these things. So I'm writing in the search engine, you can, on this website, you can put in the word like police or government institutions of every country, and I know from Germany that you can see the different companies. They really write name of the company, and then the name of the company is Federal Republic of Germany. That's very interesting. Then you click on this and you can see all the data, or not all the data, but some data about this. It's not a thing. And they have also a number, which is the number. And by the way, it's not the so-called white people that did the colonization. For this, responsible are the Jewish traders. The Jews are traders originally. So they organize all these things, and they can do things very well for the temporary success. Same as our lifestyle in the West was a temporary success, but they will bring you down. because they don't want to give you. They want to, for a time that you work for them, they will give you, and then they will take it away from you. So everything will be theirs. But why they should give something to the animals, to the goyim? You know? So that's why it is always bad if you use other people doing your business. You know? We don't need them. We can take care of ourselves, but they need us. That's what you need to know. So anyway, so the Jews actually organized this colonization. They are responsible for this, and they used the white people, the white sheep, uh, for doing all the dirty. But the black people and brown people remember the white, and also the fake Jews, the false Jews look like white people. So now they also had history lesson, same as us. Uh, Now they can come and say, look, now it's time to repay. Now you have to give, or you have to give up, or you give up your life for what you have done to our generations before. But actually, it's about the Jews. And all this organization can only be done by the Jewish network worldwide. Yeah. So white people, English people, German people are not able to do this. They have a very small network. It's more an Asian attitude to do this. In this case, Caucasian, Khazarian, Turkic, Mongol, whatever attitude. That's why the Chinese are also have a similar attitude like the Jews and the Indians as well. To be civilized means nothing else than you are adjusted in that means. This is a quote of Albert Schweitzer, the Jewish African explorer who was living there, and so he saw the difference between the civilized world and the natural world, and so these civilized people, to be civilized is actually not a good thing. It's just saying yes to everything. Yeah. And this is exactly what you have in Germany and other countries, Western countries. So they are too adjusted, they accept everything, and I think they need to learn a lesson. Yeah? So they need to be taught a lesson, whatever outcome it will be. But you cannot be civilized like this. You should not be wild as well, but you should be self self-controlled, but also you decide over yourself. You don't need others to decide for you what is good and what is not good. So the question is, to be civilized means to be adjusted, but adjusted to what? Adjusted to the city, to the system. Sorry. So for tomorrow, I want to show. For the next blog, I want to show here. I will talk about this, or maybe this one I can still make today. I want to see. Yeah. Okay. So this one. Yeah, I should take this one also. That's my own idea again. Paris. Maybe you still remember Paris attack. Was the same like 9/11, Bristol, Cologne, Munich, Berlin, Istanbul, whatever. London, I forgot. Madrid, and many other cities. St. Petersburg. It was a false flag operation of the secret services. And of course, one can be happy if this is only theater, so that nobody really died. That's good. It's like with the Holocaust lie. So uh, no 6 million Jews died. That's good. And that's another issue. No? When I talk about these people, about this, especially to German people, German foolish people, I came out with this, but very well thought, of course. I knew what I was doing. What weapon? They don't look at this deeper. They only say, oh, this is forbidden to say this. Now you did a big mistake. Now we will report you to the authorities, to the criminal police, and they will get you where you are. Okay, so instead of just asking why you get to this idea, of course 6 million Jews have been killed, gassed in the alleged gas chambers in a crematory. Just think about this craziness. The gas chamber in a crematory was dealt with fire in the oven. You have a gas chamber, fire and gas put together, side by side. This doesn't work. So you see how stupid people are, that they really believe this bullshit, and they don't want to look deeper into it because it's like a religion. It's a Holocaust religion. And you don't get this out of these people. They are just too stupid. And it is of course forbidden to talk about it because it could still wake up people, that they realize this if they have to look at this. So what they do is they report you. So they go against you even though the whole thing is against themselves. Because since the 60s at least, Germany has to pay for this. I think it was $600 per Holocaust survivor. And the Holocaust survivors even don't receive it, as well as I know. It's only for the organizations, because the organizations need money to act worldwide. So it's just a way to make money. That's also what Norman Finkelstein said or wrote in his book, The Holocaust Industry. But he believes that the Holocaust happened. But I know for sure, after David Cole, that this is a no-go. That's not, and actually many people also don't believe this, even German people, but they cannot talk about it because they go to jail when they talk about it. So as I don't go back to Germany anymore, and also not to Austria and France and Canada, I think now included as well, since Zündel, since this Zündel case. So who cares, yeah? But I can only tell you, look at this deeply, look at the details of all this, and then you will see that this is all not possible. But it's a fakery, like the moon landing. That is possible with only stupid sheeples. And I was a stupid sheeple as well. And I remember in 1992, I heard the first time the Auschwitz lie. And I thought, what is the lie about Auschwitz? And then I read further in the newspaper, and I thought, oh, it's Nazi bad. Oh, it's not good when he's sentenced, I think 2 years also, for saying that the Holocaust is a lie. Yeah, this is something bad. So I was thinking the same thing, like all the others nowadays. But in reality, it is a good thing, and to disbelieve that 6 million Jews have been killed. Of course, not for the leading Jews, but for all others, because that means I believe no 6 million Jews were killed, and that means they are still alive, or they have been still alive at that time, and so they did not suffer or sacrifice their lives, and that's a good thing. So the one who says, no, the Holocaust happened, the 6 million Jews must have been killed, then you are like Hitler, because that means you really want them to be dead. You know? So actually, that not I'm the Nazi, but you are the Nazi when you think like this. You know? Because I don't want the 6 million Jews to be killed. I want to have this investigated, which is still not the case. But in the 90s, it was already shown everything, the evidence, clear enough. Now they work in the concentration camps to make it more evidence on their side. So they just rebuild things that have never been there. I can tell you this, and I will make another video about the things that I've witnessed myself to show that they really make a fakery. But over the years, people will not know this because you are not interested in these things, horrific stories. You know, you just see it one time, there will be a picture in your mind, and you will keep it in your mind. But you have to free yourself from this. This is very important. Free yourself from all the lies. Yeah. So, and then don't be angry with the people who are lying to you. These people have to lie. They are just evil people. And maybe they don't even know what they're doing. But only be angry with yourself that you believe this lie for so long time. That you have been so stupid for so long time. But be happy when you wake up and now don't believe this lie anymore. And you can go on. So now I want to open this link. For this, I have to go back to the desktop. We'll open now Google. You have to wait a little bit so that I can open the blog and change some maybe better, little bit better layout, and then I will open the link on the Google browser. And I will talk about this, what this woman. So I remember the woman is talking. She's working for the system in a government office where the people, these fake refugees demand from. So the Google page, I mean the browser, Google browser, is already opening. It's loading. Send request. Waiting, resolving. It is really incredibly slow here. No problem. Only to open the Google page. And then I hope I don't have a comma now. So I can continue right away to the blog. I have to wait it's loading to make sure there's comma. Then I would like to take the chance to open the comma. There's no, so I can go to the blog right away like I did in the other video before. need to show this really, but I can maybe open the desktop already, so you can see that there's something going on the blogger.com. So it might be possible that some links are not opening. I have to check this out. So now the page is already there, but it's not showing up. It's still white. Oh yes. The following page has become unresponsive. You can wait for it to become responsive or kill it. It's frozen. But I don't even need to click coming. It has to do with the CPU for sure. It's only 32-bit. So then from this page I will go to the right-wing thoughts. There are blogs about the Mossad, about Metapedia. This is a site like Wikipedia, but for right-wing, which also includes some falsehood. So be careful about this. And then Jewish calls on the Gentiles, the real Holocaust. That's another book. So, and then I will click on view as well, because I want to see if this link is really still working or not. Why I cannot click on this here on the page. The page isn't working actually. So I should then here we have the log already. So right here put this together. Let's separate this together. So to see that's also incredible. The blog is open, but not really open. Yeah, it's already loaded, but it doesn't show anything. It's just white color. This has to do with the CPU for sure. I have the same problem also YouTube, especially since I tried the new beta YouTube. So I will on N24. So it's even from the system. It's a news network. And she says that she cannot take it anymore. See, these people, they work for this, for government institutions, and then they have to deal with these rude people. And so she cannot take it anymore. And this one, I have to probably reload. Yeah. She's actually who's helping the refugees. Now this it should open from the right thoughts. Yes, now it's opening. As you can see it also in the browser. So in the browser it's opening, and the others it's not on N24. I see. It's actually N24 is actually from the word. The news. It's interesting. From the 17th of January last year. So it's in the time when there was the problem, the visible. So what she is saying is that they demand extremely and not reliable. That means when you comes tomorrow, come. And another term is they coming close to you. It's an article about 8 minutes to talk. And of course, the picture also is if you see the picture, you see dark shadows come by train, so that the means of transport, and they are coming for us or for you. Right, refugees at the railway station of the Berlin-Schönefeld airport. And now this woman will talk about experience. And this is looking for a place that takes refugees for the first time. I want to still look from the blog list. Here we have, yes, from the blog itself, can so I will take the blog out and I will talk to this. I just save the other changes. I update these changes. And so I will tell you about this. He was started working in this place where the refugees comes in Hamburg with much idealism. Ideology is very important. They have this wrong leftist green childish ideology. So I'm working on a good thing. I have to help these refugees. So they come in very stupid. But experience with the refugees, so refugees using part of which thing. An employee, is it right? The one who's employed for daily working task. Since the fall of 2015, this is the time when the business came, I'm working fully employed in this Hamburger refugee place. I really wanted to work. It was it I wanted to do. So she was really encouraged. Refugees welcome. She is the one. Refugee. Since I had then the yes letter in my letterbox that I can work there, I was happy like crazy. Yeah, I can work for the refugee. How do you call this? Refugees. Very happy. Many men for me. So now I could help not only theoretically, because this is the first thing in theory. They want help. And in the end, they are buying themselves, but no one will help them. I would not help them as well. So, but really practically, do something for the refugees. So if you really know who the refugees are, it's so unbelievable that to accept this. This is so stupid. But this is when you are dreaming, when you are sleeping, you're dreaming, then you have exactly stupid eyes. People have no mercy, nothing. They have to get up themselves and change the system, and then they have to work on this. Anyway, so with a good mood, I went to my first work day there at the refugee camp. I was very excited, like it always is at the first working day, a new job. And I liked it. The colleagues were also very engaged. They were friendly, but I didn't have a direct contact with refugees yet. So they put her in slowly but surely, no? But I greeted them all very friendly, and it's unreal. So she greeted all, and she found everyone very nice. Yeah, she saw the nice black and brown male faces, mostly male. This is here on official system newspaper, no? So it's interesting that this was a time when, after Köln, when they make the change and they brought in this information as well. And this has a reason why I bring in this information, because they want to split, divide and conquer. So those who still want to believe in refugees welcome, they will just ignore this, even though this woman is someone, at least in this story, we actually don't know if the woman really exists, someone who was refugee welcome and now changed his mind, her mind, by the experience. Other people will just ignore this, they will just continue like this, or they will say, well, this is only just some people. And you hear this all the time, also here in Asia. I hear people always in the good human attitude saying, this is only just some people, you know. And you always have to talk nice to the people, because you know what is going on in their stupid minds. Anyway, so you cannot talk seriously, really. Only here in the video, because here nothing can happen. When someone is angry, you just destroy your computer. And she was thinking, I will show you this, that you see where I'm talking. This will be really superb here, I thought. In the next days, I was absolutely motivated, and I did my work. I worked very motivated in the next days. And there were 1,500 refugees around. They lived there. And I should be the social advisor. So I was the one who they could talk to about their social problems. The social problems of refugees. Imagine, this woman has no idea she will be sent there, and she has to live with the social problems of these strangers. She has no idea about these people. Even she went maybe to some of these countries for fucking holiday, still she has no idea about these people. And when they have a problem, they would not go to her anyway. They would only go for money, or maybe for sex. But she could never understand their social problems. I would not understand the social problems of the people here. And I'm living here nearly 20 years. Yeah? So that's impossible. But this is exactly what the system is doing. Just keep you busy with stupid work. You will have them. This is the more important work about their asylum scheme. So she has to support them. About visiting the doctor. So they have to send them to the doctor, because, you know, some people have whatever AIDS or whatever. When they need a doctor. So this is more likely to be a real. Yeah, and then the first refugees came into my office. But at the first visits, I already realized it was different to what I actually thought in theory. This very positive, idealistic thinking, very positive, but the term positive means only yes and not good. But she means the very good thinking about these people. So there was a difference between the theory and the reality. It's good that she realized this. So then very important, she have to write in, this is always the good human excuse, which I don't like to use anymore, even though it could be the case, but you know, we should not generalize, and that's what she's coming up. And she criticizes, she says, of course, one cannot talk bad about all the refugees. There are also many who are very friendly. That means only smile to her and think, I will fuck you next time. They are very thankful because they say thank you. Maybe they say thank you to be, you know, to play the gentleman, and then, you know, next time maybe. Because when they have a German girlfriend, then it's easier for them to get in. But now there are so many men, there's, I think, not enough willing German women anymore. So you have to make them. Many, she says, are also willing to integrate, and they are very happy to be here. That's what she thinks. But again, also this is a wrong. I wanted to say deception, but in this case, yeah, it is her own deception. But when I am truly, frankly spoken, 90% of them that I meet, she can only talk about herself. Others maybe not say this, not agree to this, because they cannot talk like this, because it's their job. They lose their job. 90% of them, remember she said before, many means always the majority. She should have actually said a few are, but 90% of them are very, I don't feel good with them, and they are not so good as I thought. So that means she can already sense that they are no good people. This is a very important message also for me, that's why I put this on. Even though it could be even fake, but this is an impression you can have with these people, where you see, at least in the group, as you see here in the picture, this is all in East Germany. You have to imagine this. So they are filling up East Germany as well, which was always not easy for foreigners to live there. It was always less than 5%, or maybe it's already 20% population is foreigner. And so, of course, you have to see one thing. First of all, young men, they look even like teenager, but in their 20s, soldier boys as well, and people who are just, you know, go for the money, for the promises. So they go there, and actually what they receive is nothing else than in the UN concentration camps, because you can see the tent and everything. Okay, in the tent usually they get their meals or whatever is going on there, and they actually are in buildings, but some have been also in tents. So, and you have, of course, this group behavior, and then more, and then they all talk, and then they say, oh, this bitch here, why not, you know, we should take her, whatever. Because young men usually also young men usually also want to have sex, so they have some imagination, and so they want to do it. And mostly the German women are open for this, I think, but not every way. So they demand apartment, a nice car, and a really good job. Yeah, a really good job means nothing to do but good money. So that means it shows also that they have been cheated. Yeah. So they have been told stories that they really go there because they don't easily go to somewhere if there are no promises. They would stay at home. So you have to give them more promises, and now it's working. Now these people are on the move. And this is all organized by these Jewish gangsters like George Soros. So at first, many of them demand extremely. They come to me and they want, I have to give them an apartment right away because this is what has been promised them, and they don't want to sleep in dormitories, of course. They say, what is going on? We are now in Germany and we receive this. And she has to tell them, you have to be patient up to 2-3 years. They say, what? Why I have to wait here? You are cheating me. And so she will get the aggression. Yeah? But actually the others are the cheaters. But this is all designed like this. So the others you cannot receive anymore, or you can only text to your others and go to this UNHCR office and kill them all. Yeah? But in the UNHCR office, there are African or Pakistani workers. So you can also not kill them. They also just do about this violence. So they're angry about it. That's why they behave like this. They want to have a nice car and a good job. And she should do this for them. So they demand. Because this has been promised to them. And this is what she doesn't know. It has been promised to them. Because she has to do this, they say. I can imagine that these people are angry about this and that they talk like this. For this, I'm there. You see, they are really demanding, and this is actually also a good attitude. If someone promised something and then you have to give this now. And now we are here. Now we are here to receive, and you don't give us. When I refuse this, but I try to explain that it is not possible, they will be angry and really aggressive. It's all understandable. If you see it from their position, their way, they get the promises and then in the end they don't receive, they feel cheated. And so she will receive the aggression. Yeah. That's quite normal, but it is all designed like this. They want it like this. One Afghanistan is officially at war, but not the whole country is at war. It's only some places where they do some operation. It's very little things. There's just a little bit more war than in Germany right now. Yeah. So there's not so much. You can go there even for holiday. Yeah, and when something happens in Afghanistan, we actually have the story in the news. So how many news stories you have about Afghanistan? Maybe once a week. We have also nearly once a week a terrorist attack or something similar. So one Afghan he said to her, "I will kill myself," because I think it's the losing face thing as well. He goes there, and he has to make it there, and then bring it over the family or send money. In the past, it was about sending money, and when he cannot make it for the next 2-3 years, he better kill himself because uh, he doesn't want. He's feeling ashamed to his family. Sorry, they don't get me here. I'm just the last stupid piece of shit. So you see, they create a problem, and a few Syrian and a group Afghans declared we would not eat anymore that you give us. So they want to force somehow, yeah? And because they know that the Geneva Convention, the refugees special status. So this is a serious thing. They don't eat. They did this also many times, also in Munich, uh, even organized with German organizations, so that they receive something at least. So they would do this. They would not eat anymore until she will help them to get what they want to get or what they have been promised. In this case, they wanted to move to another place because they then think in Hamburg we don't get this, or maybe in another place. So we go to another place. So they roam around from place to place to receive something. One colleague from the Arab area, they even told her, as she was an Arab colleague of her, they even told her uh, we will behead you, we will cut your head. So that to their own people they're even talking more drastically because they are just angry about this. Yeah, a few times in the week the police come, so we had to call in the police. Yeah, that's very interesting, and I think it's still it's not just a story from the past, and it's just going on. And when you cannot make it, okay, you go, the next one will come. Then a second, they the information they give are not very reliable. They come to me, have their papers, their documents with them, but then they tell me a story that doesn't match. And when she realizes already, that means something because she is in illusion, still in illusion. And she realized already, wait, but what you tell me is not this what we have here on the documents. So you see that they are lying. But when they are lying, of course, these are little eyes that they're not good enough. They don't keep track on what they said. So they mix up things. But they stick to it. They say, no, 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 it is like this. So she has to contact her colleague to be sure. And the colleague says, oh, this person came the day before and told another story. So every day they tell another story. And this is really something you don't want to support these people anyway. You have really fucking life there. But this is their attitude. This is especially Asian attitude. Asian, maybe Arab, maybe also African attitude that they are lying all the time. It's here the same thing. You lie and lie and lie all the time. these people here live a lie. That's what I also dislike, or I even hate this attitude. But we cannot change this. These people are fucking liars, and that's yeah. So living in a foreign land, you have to accept it. In an example, there was one who lived there. He came with a document to me about he has to be sent back, and he wanted to know what will happen now. So it looks like um, I'm not sure, but it looks like that after the 2 years maybe asylum seeking, they don't get asylum because they're not within the regulation, and then they have to leave, and they are being made confused because the real way is you have to be sent back then, and he doesn't know what will go on now. But finally, they will accept it to stay for some reason. Of course, the reason is clear, they want them to be there. So I explained to him, and he went away. But soon later, he came to my colleague, and he showed totally new documents with a different name. And he said that he is this human with a different name. And then he was not sent away. He was brought to a new camp. So that means the refugee industry is organizing it themselves. They make it that they can do identity. If this doesn't work, try another way. And they are also informed about how to do. And of course, because they are young people and inexperienced and somehow stupid, so they mix up things, and if they don't get it correct, try it again until they make it. And third, things that we agree on in the office, they don't do. I do the appointments for the doctor as well. Every one of them has to go to a checkup. They have to make the x-ray, they have to get vaccination, that's interesting, so they receive some poison, and a general checkup. But many of them want to go to other doctors. They want to go to a dentist to get whole new teeth, for sure. And for the orthopedian, for the bones, so they might have problems there as well. So I do appointments for them as well. But when the appointment is there, when the time is there, they are not going there. And then you see, this is what she said, they are so unreliable. This is really true. These people are so unreliable, they have their own rhythm, and that's why everyone has to live in his place. Yeah, Pakistani people can only live well in place with Pakistani people. That's why the foreigners always stick together in ghettos, even the Jews in the past, because they can only deal with themselves. They cannot live like the local people. Most of them, at least. So this happens so quite often that the doctors ask us not to make too many appointments because they are not coming anyway. So the doctors have no customer. But what shall I do? She asked. I cannot refuse the lady to make an appointment with the doctor. Only because I think he might not go anyway. Fourth, and this is the worst for me, some of the refugees are very indiscussionable, or yeah, they are very rude to us women. It is well known that these are mostly young single men that come to us. About 65%, she says, maybe 70%, or maybe 90%. I would say, personally, I would assume personally. When she works there, she can actually have her own statistic about, so this might be correct. But 65% is actually very little, because 65% could be already the male part of the population in Hainan, where mostly males are, more males are than females. So I would say at least 80% at that time were males. You can see this also in the pictures. They are all still young, about 20, 25 years old. It will come. Here's a picture about the city swimming pool, swimming hall in Bornheim near Frankfurt, and the refugees are not welcome there. They decided, and of course this is also a conflict, because when they decide not to take the refugees because they are doing something with the female guest, because they are so horny, and they think, here liberate, can do whatever I want, and Allah will not watch me anyway. I don't know what they think, but then they say, you refugees are not welcome. This was a no-go as well, because there's always another side. You cannot do this with the poor refugees. You cannot exclude. You are a Nazi. And so they had to make a deal that we only accept refugees if they have someone of the refugee camp taking care of us. And even then, things will happen under the shower. Where refugees are not allowed to go into swimming bath, more and more female visitors and also employees declared sexual harassment to the social department. And half of these refugees have no respect to women at all. They accept that we are there, they have to, but they don't take us serious. when I, as a woman, want to tell them something or give an order, then they will not listen to me and do like it is not important. And they just go to another male colleague. Yeah, this is the Muslim attitude as well. In their countries, they would, there are, I think, also female workers, they would, I think, more likely accept this. If there's a female worker, I'm not sure, but here we have the non-believer, German woman. She is not a Muslim, so they don't need to listen to her, and they better ask the male colleague. That means even for this job, men have to do this job. Yeah. Then they would respect more and follow the orders. Otherwise, they would have to have sanctions, and that again shows clearly in this Muslim world that women should do other things, not even this. Yeah. Even though it is just an office job, but this is not because you are on the front line. For us women, they have bad looks only. They look very bad to us. Like, you know, you fucking whore or something. Or they are really demanding, but in sexual means. They make sounds after us when we are passing by. Then they call us something in their language, things that we don't understand, and then they laugh about it. This is exactly how the people are. What they think about white people. White people are seen as stupid because when you see the behavior, it's really stupid. And it happens to me as well. The same thing they also do, at least some people, and they like to laugh about it. They like to make jokes about it. Yeah, and such people, I'm sorry, I would not help them at all. Yeah. And this is exactly the thing. They are laughing about you, and you are still helping them. So they have to laugh even louder, and that's why I have no respect, because they just think, wow, these European people, they are so fucking stupid. It's unbelievable. We kick their asses, and they still give us more of their wealth. It is really not nice, she said. It even happens that they took pictures with their smartphone of us. So they come into the office to take a picture. Thank you. Yeah, they want to make pictures. And then they look around, and then they show around this bitch. Maybe next time we will catch her. Whatever. But remember, smartphone is also very important. Use the A1 smartphones. A stands for Austria, and this company is owned by Mr. Slim, the Mexican tycoon. These people are all involved in this, and these are special smartphones. They cannot be recognized, so they might have a special app there as well for the day X, when the crash will start, when they have to fulfill their task. Yeah, so they just took a picture like that. They didn't ask for permission. Even I said no. Even I say no, no picture, they still make a picture. So you see, this is unbelievable. But you see, the situation for her is she has her job, she doesn't like it anymore. What shall she do? Find another job. But in reality, to find another job is also not easy. Especially, you always think about the consequences. When I now get out this job, this is a job about refugees. It's a very idealistic ideology. So when I get out of this and say it's like that, maybe I don't get another job anymore in the system, for sure. And last time I went up steep stairs, and a few men ran after me or came after me, and they walked up behind me, and they laughed all the time, and I think they talk about me, and they call some, and maybe also take some pictures under the whatever. If she wears a skirt, then they might for sure do this mm, without sound, and she will not even realize that they all take pictures of her. It went even worse. Yeah, it becomes worse and worse, and I think it didn't change. It becomes worse and worse. Some colleagues told me something similar happened to them as well. And remember, this is a story they publish in the official news. Other stories they cannot even publish. But they said we cannot do anything about it. That's true. They cannot do anything about it because they're just working slaves. Yeah. So they have to do their job or they leave. And they have to really accept this all. Can you believe this? That means they have no power. Normally they would have to say, look, if it's like this, all colleagues together, we will not accept. You need actually a second colleague in the room as well. That you have a witness. So you don't have the manpower for this. And then we have to make, what is this? Sanctions against them. But because of the rules of Geneva, I think it's not easy to sanction them. Only necessary for the system, but this one is not necessary for the system. The system is just using these so-called helping people or people who do the job for the refugee industry. They are just using them. If you cannot make it anymore, we will take another one. There will be others coming because they don't have the experience yet. And if we have to get every month a new one, then it might be also the case. They then say the job is like this. We have to accept. Can you believe this? And that makes you actually not the other part of sadist is the masochist. So it makes you masochistic because you have to accept this all. Yeah? And even more things that we cannot talk about it here in this official site. It happens so often. If you would have to report this one to the police, or you would have to send him to another place, they can only send him to another place. This place would be surely nearly empty. So often it happens. But But you can be sure that the other places would also send and circulate around the bad guys back to them again. So they would not be empty. Would just be a rotation. So her colleagues just ignore this and they try not to show any emotion on this. They just accept. And I did it the same way. That's all they can do. So I just walk my way with the head straight and just look forward. When they were making sounds after me or they called me something, I didn't say anything. I didn't change my facial expression. That they would not not go further in this, because when she turns around and she looks maybe angry or something or whatever, then it would be a reaction and they would think, oh, with her we can do it. So that they don't get the expression or they don't get the impression that it hurts me or that it has some influence on me. So there are about 500 it has to do with Köln. It's about 500 reports about the case of Köln. You see in the picture the main railway station. And after the attacks on women on New Year's Eve in Köln, the number of reports to the police is still increasing. Also, the talk about a faster sent back home of people who became criminal refugees goes on. So they are only talking about it, of course, because they don't really send them back. That's I'm pretty sure. And I know about the flight from, I think, from Greece to Pakistan, that the airplane with these passengers, Pakistani passengers, was not accepted in Islamabad. It was just sent back as it came to Greece with the reason we don't take terrorists. Yeah. So then you know what it means. Yeah. So if they fly, then it is only an allowance to leave, and not even for holiday. They go for their war activity. Anyway, next she's talking, but it didn't help, of course. It became even worse, because if she ignores this, then they have to do more. Truly sad, especially in the last weeks, as more and more men came from Northern Africa, from Morocco, Tunisia and Libya. But actually the people from Libya, I think, if they are not Arab faces, she can tell this better herself, because nowadays there are black people coming from Libya and they are not Libyan people for sure. You have to see their face. Then they are from Morocco, Tunisia and Libya. When they came to us in this place, they were even more aggressive. And I couldn't ignore it anymore. I reacted. that I wouldn't be exposed to this. But I think this doesn't help. So she has to do her job or just leave. The best thing is when she just leaves. She just don't put in energy anymore. Because if she reacts and says, stop talking like this, it doesn't make anything to them. They're just laughing about this. They don't care. Because they know they can do it. And they're criminal people anyway. You can see in the whole behavior, and of course with the group dynamic, it will happen anyway. So after a short break, I will come back and I will talk further about it. So after the short break, I continue. It means concretely it means I started to dress myself differently. Normally I'm someone that who likes to wear more tight things, but now no more. I wear white trousers and highly closed up tops, whatever, you know, the shirt or whatever. I use makeup just a little bit. So I change not only from the outside, to protect myself from this harassment. Now I behave different. So an example, I don't go to places where these male roam around. So in this area already she cannot go to certain places. And if I have to do it, then I try to go through there very fast. And I don't smile to anyone that they don't get the wrong impression. I have to think about it. You are in this place, you really have to say, send them all back. We don't want these people. If they are like this there, somewhere else it will be like that also. Even though the camp situation is never a good situation. You know? So some things out of the refugee point of view is also understandable, especially when you are a young criminal. It's very likely that these things happen. But most of the time I stay in my little office, so she's, if possible, the whole day. I don't go to work by train, back and because last time a colleague of mine was they went after until the underground station, and they went even into the train and became busy with her. So they wanted to go with her home. Didn't want to do this. So I come with my car. Yeah. But with your car, they also can open the door and want to go with you, whatever. I know it sounds really crazy. Dress free, certain places cannot go in this area and can only come and go by car. And I find it myself terrible that I do this so and that it is necessary. But what shall I do? Where's the alternative? This is the situation they put these people there in. I don't ask the politicians, they will just laugh about it. They will say, you have said, that's not a big deal, these are young men, you have to stand over this, or open your legs. Should I just continue that they just look at me and that they try to hit on me? That cannot be, she says. From official side, I don't get any support. Not in this case and also not with other problems. Because they are ideological people, so they just say, oh, you have to deal with this, you have to make it. You cannot make it, you are just too stupid. So the problems we have, we cannot talk with the other government bodies and also not with the privatized Federal Office of Migration and Refugees, which is in Nuremberg, and in this building was former SS headquarters, so it really matches very well. If one calls them, they don't go to the telephone. So if I cannot make it anymore, I have to cancel the contract. I have to leave. But I still can't make it, I cannot do it. I like my colleagues very much, and the children of the refugees I like also. Yeah, children and children, they belong together. Right? And before I was so happy to do this job, and I believed in the thing to help the refugees. So it is hard for me to say that things are different than one thought. This is the thing. They have to. This is a kind of waking up as well. They have to realize the reality. But the bad thing is, you get during this slow process of realizing, you have already filling up the country. There's no chance, because the way you got them in, you have to also send them back. And these countries don't take these people anymore. They don't take them anymore. They don't want them back, for sure, because then they would have the problem. Even they are their own people. It's not their own people anymore. They don't want them. Send them to Europe. Whatever happens to them in Europe, it doesn't matter. if I would cancel the contract, I would say exactly this, what I said now. At this step, she still cannot do. But I already think about just to cancel everything. And many of my colleagues want to finish also the job. They cannot endure this anymore. Because they cannot look at this, they cannot see anymore, look at this anymore, how this all goes wrong here. So they know that things go wrong, for sure. And they cannot do anything about it. Yeah, this is true. You cannot do anything about it in this pyramid system, but you can withdraw your energy. Do other things, and maybe better don't look for another job. Just do something yourself, which is of benefit. And when I'm honest, I cannot endure this furthermore as well. So this was a report about an employee in the refugee camp in Hamburg. And this is from Sophie Libert, written by Sophie Libert, protocolled for her, 0 comments, maybe they deleted the comments, but she wants to be anonymous, so it has no value, it's no evidence. It could be just a story of herself. Which is quite possible. And this is just made up, even though it is also likely that this happens. I can imagine this, but it is quite possible that they make up this story, which is quite real, but for the reason that people will realize something. And when you look at this picture, no, they use this picture as unbelievable. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 men, and then you see this woman helping the refugees. She wears like this. The men are all dressed properly, and this woman, I mean, the picture is really taken at one time, and she wears only like this. I cannot imagine. You can imagine that all these men have only one idea when they look at her, because this is this is really unbelievable. Look at the other picture with the Muslim woman. This is how they know women, and then they see these Western women like this. Of course, then things must happen. This is understandable. So here it says many Germans are helping, but they're also afraid. So they're afraid, but they want to help. It's actually insane. Yeah? So they're afraid about the stranger, which is, you know, the feeling they get, and this feeling is right, but they still want to help. It's like, oh, he's maybe very dangerous, but if I help him a little bit, maybe he will not kill me or rape me or whatever. Every 10th German is engaged for the refugee. That's interesting. Every 10th German. Okay, if you take only the Germans, it's maybe only 40 million. So it's 4 million people. That's quite a lot, no? But the studies of EKD shows also that they're very scared. They are very scared, that's true, but about right extremism. So they don't want this. And the behavior of the response of the Church, Vatican, is also seen very with doubts. Another story, milk picture in the tent where they usually eat. One, what is this? What do you call this? Someone who works for no money. I forgot the name. Who is a helper there. He cannot go there anymore because he was wearing the ski trousers. That's a strange story. It's about that she wanted to change clothes for a child. That is, if the child can wear the ski trousers, it's warmer in Berlin, and this was not allowed because in this eating tent you cannot do this. Yeah, of course you cannot do this where all of them are sitting there and have some ideas, no? And here is Ayla El Abta. She's also helping them, and she's just from Berlin, and she's engaged for the refugees, of course, because she's helping her people in Berlin Moabit, where also this picture is coming from. And there is jubileE, but we don't know what she's talking about. You have to see yourself. Inhumane is the right word. Here you see some protests for the G20 appointment. Social inequality you have to fight. Make democracy or democracy stronger. This economy kills, whatever this is. So they have now protests in Hamburg. Peaceful protests, it's all organized. You can tell already by the banners. Very systemic. We had some difficulties there. Okay. It's another story. About 1,100 buses come daily, but I think it's only about the traffic. These are stories from now,
about Hamburg. So there was a protest camp of the G20 in Hamburg, and the police was in action. You can see the dark blue color. So the police is very militant. So they said, you cannot stay here. The protesters against G20. So they come with 100 policemen. And the protesters throw color on them. So also in Hamburg St. Pauli on the Reeperbahn, this picture is the police as well. They throw people out of the window, and they have pepper spray attacks. Pepper spray attacks in a discotheque. A tourist was wounded, and a woman fell out of the window. And then most comments are skiing is a problem. The second picture, 74 square meters, 4 people should be enough. So let's think about 4 people. 80 square meters is 20 square meters per person. The Constitutional Court decided already 12 square meters per person is enough, so it should be enough for these Germans. And it costs 850 euro. Yeah, in Hamburg it's expensive. Family Dreier is talking. So the new government, what is planning the new government? They are all dependent from the government. And then you see the picture of alternative right movement for Germany. In this picture you can see the pyramid arrow. So it's a sign from the system, and these are all system people. And they want to make something about the marriage for all, and for the gays as well. So they want to do something that the law cannot, actually the rule cannot become official. Because it's not good for the society, says Alexander Gauer in literature. So anyway, this is the story for today, long enough, and we will continue with the blog. And